Hello everyone and welcome back today for round 7 here in the GT Sport League. We're here at the Lago Maggiore circuit, and unlike last time, I'm joined once again by my co-commentator Thunder.
Hello.
So,
Sorry about leaving you last week.
it was quite lonely last week, but now that you're here, hopefully we can have hopefully this will be a good race. It's a good track, one of my personal favourites. And we're just waiting for all the drivers to do their out laps, and we will start qualifying pretty shortly. I believe Joe Black is the first to start a lap, so we'll ride on board with him quickly. But yeah, we've got 11 drivers this time, so hopefully it's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, and obviously this is a made-up track, I think, isn't it?
I don't know. I'm not too sure.
I think it is, but I feel like it's a great track. It's very flowy to drive. I feel. After probably 5 laps I've driven on it. But...
So yeah, we've got Joe Black now coming through the final corners. Here we see the first to start his lap. He is in the Mustang. We'll see what he can do inside of that car. And we've got Phoenix behind him in the, I believe that's the Toyota. Yes, it is. So we'll see what those guys can do. And hello to everyone in the chat. We got already cheers for Holland. Holland Campion is actually driving this time out. He's replacing Play Dutchy, who couldn't make it today. He's driving the BMW, the same one that Play Dutchy drives. And Play Dutchy having a really good start to the championship, only being in for 3 races, and has got himself 3 poles and 3 wins. So I think that's a pretty good stat. If you
that's like was it Schumacher one of the years he got a podium in every race.
Yeah, and it's now Play Dutchy in the BMW, but apparently we've got 17 comments, but I can only see 2 on my stream, so I will try and get through them comments when they come through. And,
I only see 2, but sure.
Yeah, I'm on board with Joe Black now. It seems to be a clean lap so far.
This is my favourite corner.
This is one of my favourite corners, the embanked corner with a not really a tight apex, but the amount of speed you can get, like you just saw from Joe Black, about 80 miles per hour through that embanked corner. So I'm sure we'll see some overtaking manoeuvres from some of the drivers into there. Joe Black and now on a lap.
And a lot of these corners you can take them flat out, but if your line's a little bit off, you can lose so much time because you can't take them flat out. Like, you always need to be pinpoint actually to get the corners flat out.
Definitely, and interestingly, Joe Black decides to take that corner in 3rd gear, so maybe 3rd gear suiting the Mustang, trying to get as much traction as he can. But coming through the final corner now, here's where we see some of the lap times coming in. So it will be Joe Black to come across the line first. He will set a 1 minute. I decides to back out of his laps. Phoenix Gamer comes across the line, so that's a 1 minute 59. So that's a pretty good time from him. Duke actually goes to second with a 1:56.7. Joe Black 2 minute 2, but he backed out of his lap. Simmerber in 3rd with a 1 minute 56.7. JJ Power with a 1:57.3, but I believe he made a slight mistake on that lap. Tiger's going to come across the line and go 4th with a 1:57 flat. Oriole with a 1:57.8 in the Mercedes, and Toussaint going provisional pole position by 4/10 with a 1:55.5.
Really good lap by Phoenix Gamer. That's the first time I've seen him up that high.
And Holland Campion on his debut in 6th place with a 1:57.1. Like you said, good lap from Phoenix. This is the 3rd or 4th race I think in this league. He joined at Spa. And yeah, Toussaint with a really good lap, 1:55.5. And Phoenix Gamer going on to the gravel at the S section. Don't want to really do a commentator's curse like last week, but that was quite horrific actually. So I basically commentator cursed everyone. Rode on board with Duke and he crashed, and everyone will move over that. But Jojo Power in 7th, I believe. Woody's still on a lap, and GJ's also on a lap. Oh, GJ span! Oh no!
He's got major damage.
It's not gone well already for myself here in the commentary box. 2 drivers and 2 spins. Oh dear, I do apologise. But Woody's now coming through the final sector.
Are you able to repair your car in qualifying?
I believe you are. If you do come into the pits, there is an option to change your tyres, change the fuel, and repair any damage. But Woody, I'm not sure this is going to be. This is only his out lap. So Woody's going to be starting his lap pretty shortly. But I believe Phoenix Gamer is gone wide. And Duke is going to come across the line. It's at 1 minute 56 156.5 does improve and goes up into 3rd place. So that's the 3rd driver who I've commentated cursed in this race, and we've only had 7 minutes. Jojo Power, a good lap from him, 156.5. He goes up into 4th place.
Tiger crossing line at 150.
Oh, Tiger actually goes pole. Tiger
What a
and
lap.
Assassin, the Aston Martin, goes to pole with a 155.2. That's a really good lap. If these drivers can get into the 154s, then I'm going to be really
Jojo
impressed.
Power's around.
Jojo Power, he's span, that's turn
He's facing the wrong
2.
way.
So we'll have a look and see what happens there. Jojo Power quite prone to spinning, unfortunately, and yeah, he's just lighting up those rears and then moved over to the left-hand side of the track to move out of the way. So unlucky from him. But
A lot of people in the chat are for Holland Campion, so he obviously has his fan base with him.
yeah, we've
He
got the
brings it
Holland,
everywhere.
we've got the Holland Campion fan crew. As he's currently in 8th place, he is replacing Play Dutchy. So I think getting some
Joe-
good points will be a good first race from him.
Joe Black, Gigi and Woody haven't set laps yet, so they'll need to get a lap soon. But Woody's on a lap, I think.
And something that I'd like to point out, if we go on board with Jojo Power, something that's been a common feature since the Nürburgring in round 1, the drivers qualifying less than a 10th between each other. Look how close it is between him, Duke and Oriel. There are just so many close margins here in this qualifying session, it is unreal. That's just how close these
Oriel
guys
very
are.
wide there.
But someone's
Woody
about
comes
to
through the
cross
last
the
corner.
line. It's Woody. I'll
Woody.
try and find him on my on the leaderboard. But Woody coming around the final corner. It looks actually to be quite a quick lap. It's going to be a 1 minute 56.999. It puts him in 9th place, only 2 tenths behind Holland Campion. So a decent lap from him. I think Duke actually goes into 4th place with a 156 flat, only 0.063 seconds behind Phoenix.
If you look though, between Phoenix, Duke, look at the gap between Phoenix and Duke, it's 600ths of a second, so...
Toussaint running
third.
wide through the final corner. I'm not sure he's going to improve on his lap.
No, it's
Doesn't, but Tiger Assassin extends his gap at the top to 3 tenths now with a 155.1. So he's almost into the 154s. Holland with a really quick lap up into 3rd place. So a really good lap from him in the BMW. The Dutch driver replacing another Dutch driver. So yeah, we'll see what he can do tonight. And
Joe
yeah.
Black and GJ still yet to set a lap. I think GJ's on a lap at the moment, but I don't think we've ever seen Joe. Oh, has Joe set a lap? I think he has. A bad lap.
no, something I've
yeah,
noticed
see.
with Joe is he's set 1 lap, and then he's come into the
stops.
pits for the ends of qualifying. He's done this for the last 2 races. Maybe he just enjoys starting from the back. But I believe GJ is struggling a little bit in his Subaru. I spectated him earlier, and he was ghosted, so he might have made a mistake somewhere. So
Jojo Purple, I think, through sector 1 or 2.
Jojo Power, yeah, he's got Oriel in front of him on track and in the qualifying, so he's got a bit of slipstream on the straight. And apparently we've got 101 comments in this stream, but I can only see
I don't think we do.
yeah, but oh dear, that's Oriel round. Oriel in the Martini Racing Mercedes has gone round. He's got engine damage and a suspension damage to his front right. Woody sets a new personal best.
Duke doesn't improve. Woody still stays in 9th with his lap.
So the drivers still have 2 minutes to set a lap. Phoenix Gamers coming across the final corner now. Sorry, Tiger Assassin's also coming around the final corner. We'll see if he can improve. Doesn't improve on his lap. We'll see if Phoenix Gamer can improve. He does improve. Still goes in 3rd. Toussaint now comes around the final corner. Doesn't improve on his lap, and I think there's someone else coming around the final corner. I believe it's Jojo. Will he improve? Doesn't improve by 2 tenths.
Oriel fixed his car very quickly.
There is a way just to exit the game and then rejoin, and that's a quick way of getting back into the pits. But I'm not sure how many. I don't know how many of these drivers actually do that, or whether they complete the full lap and go back into the pits. But thank you to everyone who's currently watching. We've currently got just over a minute left in qualifying, and Tiger Assassin goes quicker, just under a tenth quicker in the first sector. So he's looking on a man to get a win here, maybe.
Duke is in the pit, so he won't be making another lap.
Duke might not get another lap in. He's only got a minute left.
and he's in the pit, so unless he does corner cutting to the max, but he'll probably get a penalty, so I think
So, Holland campion, purple by 3/10 apparently.
Ooh. And he's only 5/10 behind the leader. So if you could get second on that peak.
Yeah, that would be really good for him on his first race. He's replacing Play Dutchy. We'll see what lap time he does, but someone's coming across the final corner now. I'll try and find who it is. It's GJ. He goes 10th only with the 1:57.5.
Phoenix Gamer. Oh no, that's an old lap. That's. Oh, Tiger Purple. He's
Tiger
up by
Purple again. Tobbs has joined the session. He's joined a little bit late, but he is here for qualifying. He will be. He might be able to join for the race actually. But here we go. The final few corners. Final few seconds of qualifying. Superbo sets a new personal best and puts him up to 8th with a 1:56.6. Tiger Assassin's going to come across the line. Would he improve?
Oh,
no, he doesn't, but it's a 1:55.1 for his personal best, so it's a good lap from him. Toussaint coming across the line now. He's only going to be second for this race. A good qualifying process from him, but 3/10 behind Toussaint. Tiger, really good lap from him, and the next car to come across the line is Holland Campion. We'll see if he can improve. It looks to be a good lap. He's purple on his time. Will he improve? It's Paul! It's a 1:55.1! 0.04 seconds quicker than Tiger. He's stole it in the final seconds.
400ths.
Wow.
On his debut as well.
On his debut, replacing Bray Dutchy, and he's just kicked Tiger off his first pole.
We've got Cryptek saying yes, Holland. So I think
there is someone else on the lap. It is GJ. We'll see if GJ can do anything to get himself up the grid. And people are enjoying Holland's lap in the chat. Oh, a little bit loose on the rear going through the final few corners. I'm not sure it's going to be an improvement. Actually, I think it. Not sure. We'll just have to find out, I guess. And I'll move my mouse out of the way.
Don't think it's going to be in the 55s.
But it's going to be a 50s.
Oh, he improved
10th behind Woody. So there is your starting grid. I'm going to have to go through this really quickly because there's not much time. Holland Campion gets pole position with a 1:55.1, followed by Tiger Assassin in second, Toussaint in third. Phoenix Gamer, really good qualifying from him. He starts in 4th place. Duke in 5th place, the runner-up in the Champions League championship actually, as Toussaint now takes the lead of the championship. He's in 5th place. Oriel starts in 6th place, Jojo Power in 7th, Simmerbert in 8th, Woody in 9th, GJ down in 10th place, and Joe Black once again not setting a lap, and will start at the back of the grid. So wow,
great qualifying session,
really good qualifying,
a lot of fast times in there.
And I'm going down to, I was just going to say, I'm going down to Woody, and he's only a second and a half off pole. So unlike we see in Formula 1 races or other races where it's more like 2-3 seconds, it's only 1.5 seconds. But here we go for round 7, or the halfway stage in the championship. There is your starting grid for today's race, and the drivers and what cars they are driving in. I'm looking forward to it. Let me know who you.
Yeah. I either want Tiger or Holland to win. I think Holland would be a dream for him to win on his debut, and I don't think he's an active player on GT. I could be wrong about that, but I don't think he plays too much GT.
Here we go. So the 5.8 kilometer track with 17 corners, 8 to the left, 9 to the right, the longest straight being 800 meters, and we are away for round 7 here at Lago Maggiore, the GP circuit of this track. There are many variations, but we are at the GP, and Tiger already looking for the inside. He's going down the inside into turn 1. Will he get the move down into turn 2? We'll look for the outside line. Will he get the move? There's a bit of contact. I don't have my the telemetry up at the bottom, but that was at Toussaint's going down the inside of Tiger at the start. Tiger's going to try and hold it round the outside into turn 3, now turn 4, the quick right-hander before the start. Tiger round down the inside of the Mercedes. The two British drivers going at it early on in this race. The camera guy's not giving me the best angle. As Woody's off into the gravel, and he's man in the background, but I'm going to keep on this battle for the front. It's almost 3 wide. Tiger starts at Toussaint. Tiger down the inside of Toussaint. Phoenix Gamer looking at the back of Tiger Toussaint, but I'm not sure he's going to make a move. I'm just going to change my camera angle real quick. It is on variable actually.
I've got the worst camera angles, but Tiger all over the back of Holland, and Woody has rear right damage.
A really unlucky start for Woody. I caught him there getting onto the grass a little bit, losing the rear. But up in front, Holland Campion. And Tiger's actually going down on the inside of Holland Campion. And Tuesday might follow him around the outside. A really good start here in the GT Sport race. And once again, this league fails to disappoint us. Phoenix Gamer and Duke going side by side. It's 3 wide, like you say. I don't know who's the spectators. Duke's got now a 5-10 penalty for cutting the corner. It's 3 wide into the back corner. Duke goes in through Phoenix Gamer. Holland Campion down in 3rd place after starting on pole, but Tiger still leads the way. Duke down in 4th place there, but really just a bad start for Toussaint in 6th after starting in 3rd place. So he'll be hoping to get a good get a good rhythm in this race. I can't even speak as Oriole now going for a move on Duke, but Toussaint going for a move on Oriole. These drivers go first lap as Oriole's going to try and hold it around the outside. He does manage to hold it around the outside, but Toussaint's going to try and look down the inside as Jojo Power's now looking all the way behind Toussaint in the Mercedes. But currently we have an Aston Martin leading this way, followed by Phoenix Gamer. A really good performance from him after finishing, like, I think 9th last week, or in Monza, so it's a really good start from him. Holland Campion now under pressure from Duke, so Holland on his debut from pole all the way down in 3rd place. It's not the best start, but hopefully he can find a good rhythm. Duke now to the left hand side, which will be the inside for turn 1, but the outside for turn 2. Gets the looks to the move down the inside. They're still side by side, but look, Holland Campion's got rear damage. Holland's got rear damage from someone, so I don't know where that came from, but might have been battling with the front guys to start this race. But Duke now looking all the way, Duke looking at the back of Holland Campion, and the BMW replacing Play Dutchy. Oriole now right behind Duke as well, and Toussaint going to get the slipstream. It could be a monumental overtake
or a crash.
I'm hoping for the option A, as Tiger now leads this way by almost 2 seconds, and this really good battle here at the start. What a start!
Everyone's so close.
And Duke now under pressure from Oriole, who's under pressure from Toussaint, who's under pressure from Jojo. So, Jojo cutting the corner a little bit. That might be a penalty. We'll have to wait and see. Simmerberg's got a penalty, GJ's got a penalty, and Oriole's side by side. I don't even know who to spectate here. I'm going to ride on board with Duke, who's now side by side with Oriole, and Phoenix and Holland are going side by side. Holland's going to look for the move down the inside, doesn't decide to go for Oriole down the inside of Duke. And clean race from these guys, and a little bit of contact. Duke getting a bit loose on the rear. Jojo gets past Toussaint, so Toussaint not having the best of starts, now down in 7th place after starting in 3rd. He's lost 4 positions off the start of this race, but Tiger is on a roll.
He is 3.4 seconds ahead.
Toussaint's got front left damage. That could be why he's losing a lot of positions. Maybe we'll see maybe we might see him pit early for damage repair and go onto these soft tyres and put all of his fuel in it. He's going side by side with Simmerberg. Simmerberg down the inside, and there's more contact. And Toussaint decides to stay out, but Oriole and Holland going side by side. Duke going to look for a move as well. Jojo's also in the background, so Holland down into 4th place as Duke looks for a move round the outside of Holland Campion into turn 1. This will be the inside line for turn 2, and what a start to this race.
They're side by side still. Oh, and
they're still side by side. Holland Campion gets getting overtaken by Jojo as well. So the freshman league champion now down into 6th place as Toussaint goes down his inside, and he's down into 7th place. That rear damage isn't helping him and Toussaint with his front damage. They're not having the best of runs in this race, and GJ, yeah, like you say, he's also in the background looking for a move. Will he go down the inside? Doesn't decide to go down the inside yet, but wow.
What a start. Everyone's still so close after only on lap 3.
We've only had 5 minutes. We've still got another 55 to go. GJ Power looking for a move down the inside of Oriole. Doesn't backs out of that one, but he's going to look for a move maybe around the outside. Pulls it, goes a little bit wider than Oriole. But the slipstream on the straight is going to give him the chance. Apparently we do have 240 comments, but that's probably a glitch, like someone mentioned earlier in the chat. But Duke now defending from Oriole, who's going to look round the outside of this bank corner. What a move from Oriole in the Mercedes. 2 Mercedes is battling for position. This is for 3rd place in this race.
So close.
Oriole down the inside. What really good move from him. Really good start.
Tiger has a 4.5 second lead.
And Jojo Power now looking for a move down the inside of Duke. Duke under pressure from Jojo as he goes down the inside. We said this would be a good race. We've only had 6 minutes and we haven't stopped talking. Wow.
Yeah, I've no idea where to spectate. Like, Tiger's already in interview, like, range, that gap that he has.
Wow. So
many.
Unfortunately though, Holland Campion has rear damage. And because this is his race, he probably, I don't know if this like tested all of his tyre strategies, how long fuel can go, so he might not make a few of the pit strategies that other drivers make, but Toussaint going down the inside of Jojo's, and that's up him up into 5th place, but Jojo going a little bit into the grass, Jojo down up into 5th place, and him and Toussaint are going to go side by side into turn 3, Toussaint trying to look for a move around the outside, but doesn't quite get the move done, as Toussaint actually has front left damage still, so that's going to really hinder his performance in this race.
Woody's pit. Woody has gone to the pits. He got that damage fixed.
So Woody's coming to the pits. He's only 15 seconds behind, so maybe we'll see him come back into later into this race. But he hasn't put on a lot of fuel, as I would have thought. But Toussaint and Jojo going side by side into what I'm going to call the SS section. Simaba having damage. That's going to also affect his performance. I think he's gone off. Oh no, he didn't. Sorry, that was just the car's going through the corner as Jojo getting past Toussaint for 5th place.
You see the battle for 5th? There's about 3 cars in that gaggle. I think Duke, it's like Duke, Jojo, Toussaint and Holland Campion, all so close.
And also GJ in the background, can't count him out. He's had a pretty unlucky start to the start of this championship, but he's had some good qualifying and some good race pace. We'll see if he can get the move on Holland Campion soon. If he does have damage though, Holland Campion. He does have rear damage after starting on pole. It's not been a good start to this race, but GJ's now looking at the back, over the back of him. Duke now defending from a Jojo who had to look for a move around the outside, but couldn't quite pull it off. As wow,
there's a big gaggle of cars there for the battle for 4th is going to be on.
Yeah, I was going to say Oriole getting a 2 second gap to Duke. Toussaint with his front left damage. Doing well to stay with Jojo Power. If you didn't watch
Holland Campion and GJ side by side, and
GJ getting past Holland Campion, so that rear damage from Holland Campion isn't going to give him the best straight line speed in this race.
Toussaint stopped by Jojo.
As Toussaint now getting for a move down the inside of Jojo, will get the replay of that up on the start finish straight. Does have the front left damage. Holland, you can see in the background getting overtaken by GJ, and see what happened here with Toussaint. So Jojo actually went down the inside of turn 1. Good clean move from him.
Holland Campion having a disaster of a start.
That rear damage will it's going to hinder him in a straight line. He's going to feel the understeering into the corners. And hello to everyone in the chat. Hello Jukebox and Cryptech. Noticed you're also here. So welcome. Hope you're enjoying the start. We've only done 5 laps and 9 minutes. So
Jojo side by side with through the S's.
Yeah, Toussaint and Jojo a little bit of contact, but no damage. I don't think no additional damage. And Jojo now looking for a move down the inside. That damage isn't going to help Toussaint in the straight line speed, but maybe he'll brake later than the Audi driver. Doesn't looks to the inside, but outside. Sorry, tucks in behind the Audi, but he gets a switchback on the left hand side. GJ, yeah, right behind Jojo Power. Maybe he might look for a move on Toussaint, and still these guys are side by side, and this could allow GJ to get the run, but Toussaint going down the inside. He's got rear damage as well. Toussaint got a lot of damage. Maybe we'll see him pit on this lap.
That's not good for Toussaint. He's going to be losing a lot of time there in the straights, especially with 2 drivers right behind him.
Definitely, and the current championship leader, currently leading the championship by a point, having front and rear damage, as Jojo now pulls alongside. He's going to the left-hand side, the inside for turn 1, down the inside, and he gets a good move on Toussaint, but Toussaint keeps it in down the inside. So close. And good battling from these guys as Jojo's onto the grass a little bit. Toussaint holding it round the outside, but I think Jojo's going to get the position for now. But GJ in the background is in Subaru. He's looking for a move on Toussaint, trying to go the switch back, the alternate line to the driver in front. And Toussaint now pulls over to the right hand side. GJ having front damage, so a lot of these drivers picking up damage early on in this race. That's not going to help them, and that's allowing Holland Campion as well to keep up. But Jojo down the inside of turn 4. I think that's turn 5. And that's allowed GJ to go down the inside of Toussaint, but backs out of that move.
Oriole was catching up to Phoenix Gamer. He was 4 tenths, and it's gone to 1.2 seconds all of a sudden.
So currently,
So,
we've had 10 minutes and Tiger Assassin is winning the race by 6 seconds. This is a plain Dutchy commanding lead as I'm going to go back down to Jojo and Toussaint. These guys still battling for 5th place as Jojo's actually kind of got a bit of a gap now to Duke, so the damage isn't, and the battling isn't helping these drivers. As you might think in F1 a 2-second gap isn't that much, but in this game it can be quite a fair bit actually, because it's so easy to lose a lot of time.
GJ's getting ever so closer to Saint.
That damage, look, the damage that Toussaint's got, maybe we'll see him coming early and repair it, because he's got front, rear and front left.
GJ has front damage as well.
So Holland's got rear damage, GJ's got front, and then Toussaint's pretty much got everywhere other than the engine, so it's really unfortunate for him.
Damage.
I think the only drivers who don't have damage are the top 5 in this race, and Jojo actually getting a little bit of a gap down to Toussaint in 6th place. GJ looking for a move on Toussaint, and Holland Campion actually trying to keep up with these guys. He does have that rear damage, and
GJ down the inside. Ooh, he had a look there.
GJ having a look on Toussaint. Can't quite make the move stick yet, but onto, you could say after turn 4. I'm not sure what any of the corner names are. I think this is in Italy.
I think it's a made-up track. Oh, GJ is side by side. I think.
Have a look. GJ almost side by side. He's looking for a move. The Subaru's obviously going to have the acceleration advantage over the Mercedes. Obviously, being it's not, well, it's a rally car brand, but I don't think this is not the rally car. This is just the Subaru. Actually, we can get some information at the bottom right. Yeah, it's the WRX Subaru, not the one that I can't think of what it's called.
The rally car.
Yeah, but we'll go with the rally car, but we'll just move on from that. So hopefully we don't commentate a curse anyone like we saw in qualifying, and Tiger can have a clean race up in front. Phoenix, good performance from him, currently in 2nd. The gap though is being quite consistent to Oriole, who's actually extending his gap over Duke.
I'm surprised Toussaint hasn't gone into the pits, seeing there's so much damage.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how, when he will come into the pits, but maybe he's trying to go to a certain lap so he can put some certain amount of fuel in the car and just burn it all to the end.
So close.
And yeah, GJ is closing in on the Mercedes, the currently championship leader, and actually this is not going to be a good result for both championship leaders as GJ goes down the inside into turn 1. Will he get the move stick? Not quite as confident on the brakes as Toussaint though, so stays behind the Mercedes driver for now. Oh god.
Yeah, it's kind of nice for things to calm down a bit so we can see where everyone is. Woody's got the gap down to 11.9 seconds from 15 to Simobert. So, and he's already made his pit stop, but he didn't really fuel the car that much. Surprisingly.
I'm not sure he came in. I think he only came in for the fuel because, for the damage or fresh tyres, because his tyres. I'm gonna if you compare his damage tyres to Tiger, he's got more front wear tyre loss, and he's got the same amount of fuel. And did he pick up damage? Can you remember who he picked up damage?
Yeah. Remember he spun on the first lap, I think.
Unfortunate from him.
Got rear damage. He got rear damage, and I think he pit because the rear damage is now gone.
So this is going to be an interesting turn of events for the championship. Your current championship leaders, your top 3 are in 4th, 5th and 6th. So we'll see what they can do in this race, and if they can make any more positions. But we've only had 25 minutes in this race. And Holland Campion, I think, has got... Yeah, Joe Black getting past Holland Campion. Holland Campion now down into 9th place after starting on pole. So that rear damage...
Saint and GJ, we're going side by side.
That rear damage really affecting the BMW driver. So like you said, GJ trying to look for a move on Toussaint, and the damage is definitely costing him time. currently 15 seconds behind Tiger as GJ looks for the move round the outside into the final corner. Will he get the move down into turn 1? He actually gets the move before turn 1. Whether we'll see Toussaint go for a late move down the inside. Doesn't decide to go for anything yet, but that damage, that damage definitely affecting him.
Yeah, and Tiger comfortably in front. So I would say around the 35-minute mark we might maybe see pit stops. What would you say?
I think well, these drivers start with 35% of fuel, and I think they can take, I think, lap 13 in terms of laps. I would say lap 12, 13 is the rough time we're going to be seeing some pit stops from fuel for fuel. But you can't deny it that Tiger's had a really good opening start to his race. Currently got a 6-second lead over Phoenix, who's also had a really good start to his race. He's in second place.
Highest I've ever seen him up, like, in the standings, which is great to see. Like, he's shown his pace. I think most races got him lucky in a crash maybe, but he's in red fuel.
Yeah, so he's been burning more of his fuel than some of the other guys, and Jojo Power closing in on Duke in the Mercedes, currently second and third in the championship. These two, the 6 points separate them in second and third.
This track, the front tyres degrade very quick on this track.
Definitely, with all the elevation changes and heavy braking corners, this track, like you say, does affect the front two tyres.
Jojo's caught up to Duke.
Yeah, Jojo has. He's all over the back of the Mercedes driver. Maybe we'll see a move soon, maybe in this lap or the next. But we'll just have to wait and see.
I think. Joe Black is also in red fuel, and there's 3 cars: Joe Black, Colin Campion, and Simo Bear, all very close together.
And the battle for 8th place, but Holland Campion going a little bit deep into turn 1, still has that rear damage from turn 1. Lap 1. So that's really not helped his chances of winning this race. So I'm interested actually why some of the guys drivers haven't pitted up to stay out, because if you didn't watch Spain, I don't know why I said Bahrain, we have who is it? Tiger and Jojo actually both had damage. Tiger pitted and then was able to close in on Jojo in about 2 or maybe 3 laps.
Duke and Jojo only a 10th between them now, so Jojo's shown that he has the pace over Duke. We saw in the first couple of races that they were always battling. Oh, sorry, the camera angle I had looked like Jojo's past.
And interestingly, we were talking about the front tyres getting worn, but Jojo Power's actually got more worn wear on his rear tyres.
Yeah, a lot of most drivers have a little more woody, especially as a lot of front damage or front wear.
So maybe some of the drivers have changed their brake bias to help with the tyre wear.
Simo Bear has got front right damage and rear left damage, so he's probably struggling a lot.
Simo Bear got major damage. Maybe there's an incident between him and Holland, or whether he had an incident with the barrier, because that's a lot of damage to the Nissan driver. And what happened to Holland was he started on pole, but then he got rear damage, as you can see in the bottom left, and that's just not helped his performance, car performance in this race. He really good action-packed start. If you didn't watch it, I'd go check it out. But Toussaint is in the pits. He's gone in to change the tyres, put more fuel in. I'm gonna have a look and see if he repairs the damage. Simmerberg also into the pit, so I'm going to assume he is putting the repairing his car. And yeah, Toussaint is repairing the damage. As you can see, they're not changing the fuel or tyre, so that's him repairing the damage. You can see, yeah, he has repaired his damage. He's put up quite a lot of fuel, and he's come up behind Woody, and yeah, Woody currently in 9th place. Got quite a lot of wear on his tyres, and also low on fuel, so maybe we'll see him coming to the pits in a few laps. And
we're 20 minutes in. That time is flown by.
20 minutes in, and I think Tiger might have made a mistake.
Yeah, he's
conserving fuel, because the gap, he was 8 tenths down, but from Oh, maybe Phoenix has made a mistake because he's now side by side with Oriole. That's why I was looking at the time. That's why I thought there was a mistake made, because that time went up. We'll see. Try and see what happened here as he's coming. Oh, Phoenix going wide and nice drift. A nice drift from him. If you similar to what Toussaint done, as he tried to break the slipstream and go defence to the inside. Quite aggressive actually from Phoenix, defending that inside line. So unlucky, unfortunate for him, going too deep into the Esser section, going wide into the gravel. That's cost him second place in this race. That's why I was questioning the Tiger mistake, because I was thinking that I was looking at the Delta times. I was whoa.
Duke and Jojo are still quite close on track, but Tiger a very commanding lead of 6.2 seconds. Oh, and Oriole's in the pits.
Phoenix and Oriole both into the pits. I was saying about the lap 12 and 13 mark, so some of these drivers may be pushing a bit more, but interestingly we've got 438 comments, which is excellent. Apparently.
I don't think we have that many.
I don't think we do, but maybe. But that's just how popular the GT Sport League is to the YouTube comment section stuff.
And we're on Gavra are on 907 subscribers.
We're gonna get more.
Oh! As Jojo and Duke nearly come together.
Jojo and Duke are now closer. Yeah, they're both battling for what is second place, but they haven't come into the pits yet. So
I think it's net fourth.
I think it's fourth. Yeah, this is for the fourth place, unless there is an imaginary safety car. Then because there are no safety cars in this game.
Oh, is there a bit of contact there?
I don't believe there is any contact. There might have been a little bit of bumper rubbing, but nothing major. As Jojo now going to try and look for a good run on Duke. The Mercedes versus the Audi.
Oh no, sorry, that was lag. Duke just went.
Jojo now looking for a move down the inside of Duke. Will he get the move? Good move from him. Oh, a little bit of contact there, but Duke was able to hold it round the outside. He might look for the inside line. Tiny bit of contact from those two, but Duke holds on to second place for now. But Jojo looking for a move down the inside, but doesn't quite go for it. But he gets a little bit of a good run actually. Gets quite a good run. Don't decide to go for any moves yet on Duke, but. Good battle for them as Duke runs a little bit wide, but Jojo looking for a move down the inside, couldn't quite make it.
As Tiger goes on for another lap, and he's yet to come into the pits. So the race kind of calming down here, but
Holland Campion and Toussaint going at it here. Toussaint getting past Holland Campion. I was just about to catch that, but Holland Campion now getting passed by Joe Black, and he's got engine damage. Big damage to Holland Campion, really big damage.
Oh, so unlucky.
He's got to come into the pits this lap, otherwise he's really going to suffer.
At least he hadn't gone into the pits before.
And Woody now gets past Holland Campion. I'd be really surprised if he doesn't pit, but he does come into the pits. So does Woody.
Yeah, Tiger probably needs to come to the pit soon, because he's been on red fuel for a while. Should we go into an entry for him, or will we leave him?
We'll get well with him in a bit, but there's currently 35 minutes left. We were thinking this time for the normal pit stops. There's Duke and Jojo going at it here in the early stage of this race, and so yeah, we're almost halfway through in this race, and Tiger, commanding lead actually, currently has the fastest lap of the race, almost what he done in qualifying. And Jojo gets a good exit through the S's. He's now side by side with Duke, pulling over to the right hand side, which will be the inside for the embankment corner of turn 10, but doesn't decide to make a move. And we'll see if Tiger does come into the pits at the end of this lap. But Toussaint and GJ actually get another close battle on track. We'll have a look, and I think everyone's repaired the damage that they've got, and we'll see whether we'll see if Tiger comes into the pits or not. We'll try and get a word with him in a minute.
I'm still on board with him.
And he stays out. Comes in. So Tiger comes into the pits, and we're gonna let's see if we can get a quick word with him halfway through this race. Oh, that don't want to leave the party. Hang on. Sorry guys. Hang on. Oh, that's not what you want to do. I do apologise. Hello. Hello, Tiger.
Hello there.
Hello. So a good qualifying session put you in second place, your best start of the season. How do you think? Do you think you're going to be able to convert this race? Well, you're currently in second place, but after the pit stops, you will be winning. Do you think you have what it takes to convert the first into the win?
I'm hoping so. I mean, I got a really good start, managed to get a nice big gap, and was conserving my fuel a lot. I was mainly in mixed mode 3 and 4 throughout those first laps, and so I've got about a 6-second gap on Phoenix Gamer. So I've got enough fuel now to get me to the end of the race, and yeah, I'm just going to hope for a good clean race. Just try and focus on consistency and focus getting to the end of the race
Hopefully,
as cleanly as possible.
Definitely, and you're now behind Duke, who is still still yet to make a pit stop. So I'll let you battle with him, and hopefully I'll catch up with you towards the end of this race. And he's now looking for a move down the inside, but doesn't actually go for the move down the inside. And
so he doesn't want to get cheap damage by trying to battle an essential lap car in a way. Well, not a lap car, but a car that he isn't battling with normally.
definitely, and
Duke will come into the pits this lap. Did Oriole go into the pits that lap?
Oriole has pitted along with Jojo Power, so Duke is the only one yet to pit, and also, yeah, I reckon he'll come to the pits this lap. I do apologise for the pre-interview. I accidentally pressed leave party, and that didn't go well, as I didn't want to, that'd have been embarrassing as Duke comes into the pits. So Tiger will regain the lead of this race. So interestingly, the one race that Play Dutchie doesn't race is currently winning in after.
Oriole has gained time from Tiger through the pit stops.
Oh yeah, yeah, these 2 seconds.
2 seconds. That was just what I noticed.
And I do agree with you, Play Dutchie. In this game, battles are really close. As if you didn't watch the first 10 minutes, go back and watch that, because honestly, I couldn't speak for half of it. As Phoenix, Jojo Power's come out right behind Duke actually. So they've come out really close together. And Phoenix, Toussaint now behind Phoenix. Phoenix was in second place, and after making the mistake, he's now gone down to 5th place.
Really unlucky for him. He was showing so much pace, and we haven't seen that too many penalties. I see Toussaint with one, but it's quite hard to get penalties on this track. While Toussaint and Phoenix are going side by side.
Toussaint going down the inside of Phoenix. Phoenix, a relatively new addition to the GT Sport League. I think he joined in Spa for his first race. I think this is his 3rd race. I think Spa was round 4, can't quite remember. But we've got a 3-way battle for 5th. Toussaint, Phoenix and GJ, but Toussaint looks to be getting a little bit of a gap over Phoenix, as GJ is now looking all over the back of Phoenix. He's going to tuck into the slipstream and maybe look for a move. I don't think he's close enough to make a move yet into the embanked corner of turn 10. But currently hitting the 30-minute mark, so halfway through this race, 30 minutes gone, 30 minutes left. And Phoenix a little bit weaving actually on the midi straights, and GJ all over the back of him.
The Costa Rican.
In the Subaru, Phoenix is flashing his lights. We've seen quite a few drivers flash their lights for a bit of fun. We've even seen Tiger Assassin with his windscreen wipers. So
he doesn't have them on at the moment, so.
GJ running really wide onto the grass. As I'm also looking for the battle between Duke and Jojo, which has kind of opened up to 8 tenths. So I'll keep an eye on that. And
GJ's gone really wide, or deep into the corner.
GJ, yeah, going deep into turn 1. Fortunate for him is Phoenix is currently looking at the back of Toussaint. So if he can sustain this slipstream, then maybe we'll see him make a move. Toussaint still has a 4/10 penalty to serve. And
Yeah. Oh, Duke goes very wide into the, I think turn 7 or so, and Jojo
Jojo looking for a move. He's side by side with Duke. He's going to look for the outside, but doesn't decide to go for it yet. Switch back to the inside. Doesn't go for that either. Oh, he does. Sorry, I do apologise. A little bit of contact with Duke and Jojo. Duke and Jojo try to go side by side through the intersection. A really difficult place to go side by side. No damage from either driver, but Jojo right behind Duke now. We're going to ride on board with both drivers here. This is what Duke will be looking at behind him as the closing Audi driver, and he doesn't quite make the move yet.
Yeah, and really unfortunate. I'm just looking at Holland camping is plumb last. Really unfortunate for him. Started on pole position.
And that damage really hasn't helped him in this race. He's now, like you say, in last place, chasing down Woody, who's currently in 10th. So yeah, I think that damage has definitely cost him. He was looking for a really good result. He's looking on for a good result in this race. Has Jojo now still looking for a move on Duke. Phoenix looking for a move on Toussaint, and I believe those are our two closest on-track battles.
Yeah, so I see things kind of calming down at the moment as we had the chaotic start.
Really chaotic start.
If you weren't here, you should definitely go back and check it out. As the gap between Duke and Jojo has got bigger, it's at a second now. So maybe Jojo making a bit of a mistake, or Duke just starting to push a bit harder.
So yeah, definitely in Orioles still got the roughly a 5.7 second gap to Tiger, who is leading the race. They started in second.
Phoenix Gamer is very close to Toussaint.
GJ going a little bit wide. Turn 4.
Ooh. And that's going to bring Simobear in. Or Simobear.
Yeah, Simobear might be able to make a move on the Subaru driver. Almost about to reach 600 comments apparently. This is excellent. Oh, big crash for GJ. Big crash.
Oh,
really big crash with major damage.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
we'll ride on board with him. As you can see, he goes a little bit deep into the corner, and then just goes. Yeah, you can just hear the rear leaving, and gets into the curb. Tried to correct it, overcorrects himself, and that's him off into the barrier.
Really unlucky for GJ. I think every race in the 7 races he's got damage. I'm not sure about Spain, but every other race I think he's always got a little bit unlucky with incidents or anything. But yeah, I wonder will he retire or will he go back into the pits?
Might choose to go back into the pits, and he'll be able to repair the damage that was done to the Subaru after that crash. But the gap between
Phoenix Gamer's off.
Phoenix Gamer after
He didn't have any damage, but he went very wide.
Oh yeah, he did. Oh yeah, he did. He'd losing the rear, and wow.
Lucky to get no damage. He hit the wall as well. I was looking at the replay there.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Toussaint has got an 8-10 penalty now, so Toussaint obviously pushing the track limits a bit too hard.
The championship leader, currently in 5th place, as his rivals are ahead of him in 4th and 3rd, and Oreo now 6.2 seconds behind Tiger, so he's definitely pushing.
Oh, Simobear goes a bit wide. Every mistakes are starting to come in with drivers.
Drivers definitely trying to push to the limits, and that's costing them quite a lot of time. And
GJ's in the pits.
Like we've seen with GJ, cost him a lot of damage. That's promoted Holland Campion up into 10th place.
So at least Holland won't come last, hopefully, after his amazing qualifying.
Definitely, after getting pole by, I think it was 0.04 seconds, and then getting damaged at turn 2, I think it was turn 2 or turn 3.
Has something happened to Jojo? Because he's 4.3 seconds behind Duke. And it just keeps on going up, or is that just my screen? He's 5 seconds
he
behind.
is. He might have made a mistake in the S's section, because that gap has definitely gone up from when I last saw them on the straight.
7 seconds on Oriole.
Yeah, Tiger now is almost 7 seconds to Oriole.
And out of all this chaos, Duke has found himself in P3, which is a very good result for him.
Yeah, that's going to definitely help him in the championship. He's currently 1 point behind Toussaint in second place, so that's going to help him now gain some point advantage over him in the championship, as we're currently on lap 18, 24 minutes to go. So these drivers have had 75% of the race, only 25 to go.
Yeah, it's been a really good race. Really enjoyed.
Once again, this league never fails to disappoint. We had, I think we've had pretty much action in every single race.
As Toussaint gets another penalty, it's 1.3 seconds in penalties.
So who knew? The Premier Series champion pushing his Mercedes to the limits here, as he's definitely trying to close down Jojo Power, picking up a 1.3 second penalty. He will be able to serve that in the race if he just lifts off the accelerator or goes slightly slow into a few of the corners. He will be able to serve it, but unlike Spain, where there's a lot of high, low speed corners, this track's kind of rather difficult to serve your penalties on the corners. You have to really lift off and lose your momentum in order to serve your penalties, so that shouldn't cost him too much. He does have a 7-second gap to Phoenix Gamer though.
As Tiger now is 8 seconds to Oreo, so he's obviously putting the foot down.
And yeah, definitely, and the gaps have started to open up between the drivers, so
I feel this is a recent pattern in all these races. Normally about this time after the pit stops, the field kind of just is spread out, and then in the last 5 minutes everyone goes closer again.
Yeah, it becomes more of a strategic battle with people burning and conserving fuel. As for example, in other F1 in the F1 game, you might say a pit stop's 23 seconds, but in this game, no one has any idea how long a pit stop's going to be, because some drivers might change or not change tyres, add fuel or more fuel. Holland Campion looking for a move on Woody. He's going to look for a move round the outside into the bank corner. We've seen a few drivers try that. Doesn't quite, not able to make the move yet.
So we will always have action.
So currently the battle for 9th place as a Holland Campion qualifying pole, picking up the damage has not helped him in this race. He decided to stay out with the rear bumper damage, and that's cost him 9 positions. You could say now in 10th place, but he was looking 2 BMWs battling it for 9th.
The gap between Duke and Jojo has gone to 6.3 seconds, so Jojo obviously, or just lifting off, maybe hoping to plan an attack. Oh, he spun! He spun! He's in the barrier!
Jojo Power! Oh, you...
Oh, that's a commentator's curse.
Right, wow. Once again, Jojo... I've noticed something, that Jojo's spinning quite a lot. Oh dear. Getting onto the grass and then losing it under the braking. That's going to allow Toussaint up into 4th place.
To be honest, I thought it was lag. Do you know what I mean? And I wasn't going to commentate on it for a second, and then I saw the damage pop up, and I was like, oh, okay.
Jojo Power spinning once again. A common thing with him. The Audi looks like the Audi's not so good in some of these tracks. It's prone to spinning, but that could be just the traction control and getting on the throttle too early. Really unfortunate for Jojo. That's definitely not going to help him in his championship position.
Bit of a commentator's curse there as well. Just as I was talking about him, he goes flying into the barrier. He's lucky he doesn't have any engine damage though.
Woody and Holland Campion now going side by side into turn 10, I think this is. And Holland going to try to go round the outside into the bank corner. Good move from him, still side by side. And Holland Campion will have the inside for the next corner, whether Woody will give the position. He still holds it round the outside. Good move from him as he goes a bit deeper to the corner. That's going to allow Holland Campion to look for the inside, but decides to back out of that one.
So we've got really clean racing in this league. We rarely see a collision between 2 drivers, which is great to see.
Definitely. And Woody now under pressure from Holland Campion as Tiger still leads his way.
Similar bear on Joe Vlack though. That's only 5/10.
So Simmerbo looking for the move, and Joe Black currently 5/10 separate them. And yeah, they're good stuff. Well, it's been a really good race so far. Holland camping all over the back of Woody now. He's got a good exit. Woody getting onto the grass a little bit. Maybe we'll see him move into turn 5.
Yeah, it's BMW against BMW, so very fair racing. So they'll both have the same power on the straights and in the corners.
And Simmerbo and Joe Black could be going at it into turn 10. Joe Black going down the inside, almost hitting Simmerbo there. That was a late. It could have been a try to be late on the brakes and didn't quite work for him.
Simmerbo's also about Jojo Power. As the gap between Holland Campion and Woody's kind of increasing a bit at the moment.
And yeah, hello over to everyone in the chat. I am still reading your comments, but you seem to be having a nice discussion among yourself about different wheels, etc. So feel free to carry on.
T300 all the way.
And so 18 minutes to go. Tiger Assassin leads the race by 10 seconds with the fastest lap, almost getting into the 154s.
Is that quicker than his qualifying lap?
That is quicker than his qualifying lap. So
I don't think
he's still pushing in this race.
Yeah, and Duke is starting to catch an Oriole, I think.
Duke going wide, really wide.
Oh, he's got damage, engine damage.
Oh dear! There is another commentator's curse, and
I literally just said Duke is catching Oriole really quickly.
Once again, the commentator's curse striking these drivers. It happened to him last week. It's happened to him this week.
Now is this straw time to go to an interview to him?
Oh dear! I think we'll have a look.
We'll let him cool down.
Yeah, we'll get a word with him in a minute, and he will be coming into the pits this lap. Really unfortunate. And
I can't believe I just
the damage is in the bottom left. If you have a look, the flashing red is the damage that has been done to the car. As you can see, the front bumper, suspension damage to his front right, and engine damage. So he's gone wide, letting Toussaint go through, and that's gonna be really good for Toussaint in the championship. And actually, we'll get a word with Toussaint actually now. And hello, Toussaint, are you here?
I am. What's up, Natty?
Hello. So, well, do you think you were able to sum up the start for us from your point of view? It was an absolute crazy start for like the first 10 minutes.
Yeah. So Tiger was very aggressive, which was surprising, but nice to see. He managed to get up into the lead. Then I think Holland's been having some long-run pace issues because he just fell away. I got mixed up in other people's messes and lost a bunch of positions and a bunch of time, and then since then I've just been trying to come back through the field. I think Duke's gone off into a wall somewhere because he's just peeled off into the pits. I've also got this 1.3 second penalty I have to serve at some point, so yeah, that's what's been happening from my perspective so far.
So you were at one point you were all the way down in 7th, and now you're up into 3rd place, so it's been a good performance from you. Do you think you able to, I'm guessing you've got the right tyres and the amount of fuel to remain for the last 15 minutes?
Yeah, if my maths is correct, I think I'm getting a bit too good at these recovery drives now. I'm a bit sick of them, to be honest with you.
So hopefully you're able to keep your 3rd place, and it'll be a good result for you in the championship, and we'll try and catch up with you later. But this race has just been so action packed. Good luck.
Alright, thanks Natty, see you later.
So from words from Toussaint there, who's like we just said, saying he was in 3rd place, sorry 7th, and now got himself up to 3rd.
Yeah, and with the damage, and the thing with damage in this game, although the front and rear damage is really annoying to drive with, the crucial is the engine. If you have any engine damage, if you struggle to get above 4th gear, and that's your race completely ruined.
Definitely, and well, if we just sum up a few things, Phoenix Gamer had an incident, Duke had an incident, and Jojo Powers also had an incident. Oh, Jojo Powers got big damage!
Yeah. Oh! What
Really big
happened there?
damage! I don't know if I'll get a replay that goes further back. No, I won't.
I don't... What? Engine that he must have had another off, because he
I
only had
reckon he
front
crashed in
damage.
the S's section because Woody and Holland Campion have just got past him.
Yeah.
And what I was going to say while going through the drivers is we had a few people pick up damage, and that's allowing Toussaint, who's kind of kept it clean after his pit stop, is now up into 3rd place. So damage is definitely affecting these drivers.
Phoenix Gamer's got a brilliant recovery drive, because he was in 2nd and then he went to 3rd, but then I think he dropped about 7th or so. I think
He had his incident at turn 5, I think, and now he's got his way back up into 4th place. Quite a few separate incidents actually. We've seen Phoenix spin, Duke spin, and also Jojo Power spin as Holland Campion going down the inside of Woody into turn 3. Good move from him. He's up into 8th place.
And I don't think we can fault Tiger's performance. A 14-second lead at the front, he hasn't really put a foot wrong since he's been in the lead. So, well done to Tiger. That's just the biggest commentator's curse, isn't it?
Oh, hopefully not, as he's currently got 13 minutes left to go with a 14-second lead over Oriel, who's actually had a good race himself. I can't remember where he started, but he's had a really clean, consistent race. I think he was in 4th or 5th, somewhere around that area. So
Duke could still get 4th here, so the race isn't over for Duke.
So Duke, after his incident with the barrier, down to 5th place and is gaining on Phoenix Gamer. We'll see if he can make the move before the time runs out. And you've got to say it's been a good recovery drive from Holland Campion after being in last place and quite far behind everyone. He's up into 8th place. Now having a battle with Woody in the other McLaren, the BMW.
GJ is in 10th, and then Jojo Power, so unfortunate for him. Was he in the podium? Before.
I think he. I think he was in 4th. He was in 4th place, I think, battling with Duke, and Duke actually gaining a lot of time on Phoenix Gamer. So I think this is our closest on-track battle. Currently 2nd place in the championship, and this is going to definitely open up the standings with Toussaint in 3rd, Duke in 5th, and Jojo in 9th. Sorry, 10th. Sorry, 11th.
So I think that's the closest battle on track. Yes, it is. And then if these battle a lot, Simo Bear is sitting in the background. I know he's 2 seconds behind, but still, you can just see him in the background of your shot.
Never count him out. There was 5 minutes left in the Red Bull ring, and Simmerbell was about 2 seconds behind. He was able to gain in and all the battling that was going on in that race. So maybe we'll see him come back in the later stages of this race, and he might find a few positions. But Duke trying to go for a move on Phoenix. Phoenix flashing his lights.
Oh, down the inside. Oh.
Duke looking for a move on the inside. Doesn't quite go for it. But looking at the gap to Simmerbell, it is going down. Can't count him out quite yet.
He's Phoenix is flashing his lights. He might be very excited to be in a battle.
And yeah, in terms of the championship,
Toussaint will still be leading.
Yeah, he's going to be leading by quite some margin actually over Duke, who's going to look for a move down the inside. Doesn't quite go for it yet. This guy's keeping it clean so far.
Yeah, we have this year. I can only think of about 1 or 2 collisions between drivers. So.
Oh, so he actually goes down the inside into turn 3. Doesn't quite get the move done.
And Simo Bear, he's lost a bit of time there, so maybe not ideal for him.
As we'll keep an eye on this battle. Currently a battle for 4th place. It'd be really good for Duke in the championship if he can get past Phoenix Gamer. Phoenix Gamer is currently 12th in the championship. So not 12th, yeah, he's currently 12th in the championship after this is only his 3rd race in the championship, in this league actually.
What he can do.
And Phoenix going to the inside, Duke on the left hand side, it will be the outside.
Oh, this could be so close.
A little bit of banging from those two, but it's all clean so far. No major collisions or any damage as Phoenix
a little bit wide.
Remain keeping the 4th place.
Oh, Duke's come off. Is that just me? Oh no, that's just my game.
Oh, Duke actually could look for a move down the inside. He goes for the move down the inside.
And he makes it.
Good move from him.
Oh, Phoenix round the outside.
Phoenix looking for a move round the outside. It's bit of wheel banging, and something that I've just noticed. Look at the tyre wear between him and Phoenix. Phoenix has lots of tyre wear, so that's why Duke has got so much more grip on the exit of the corners. And like we were saying, Simmerberg's catching up on this battle. Gonna ride on board with him as he's probably got the best view of this battle.
Simmerberg only 8/10 behind. And starting to look at fuel, and nobody's on red yet. Woody has a lot of fuel. He's just under half his tank, so he'll be hoping to burn some of that near the end of the race. But he's got major tyre wear. But yeah, the closest battle is between, I think, Simover and Phoenix Gamer and Duke.
Riding on board with Simover. He's got Phoenix in front of him. As he's got a really nice view actually of this battle. Running on board with Phoenix. That's what Duke is looking like in the rearview mirrors of his car, above the front wing. He's got Simover and Phoenix closing in behind him as Phoenix actually makes a little bit of mistake, and that's allowing Simmerberg to catch up. Like we're saying, there was a 2-second gap between them, and now it's now down to 3/10 as Phoenix actually goes wide. Simmerberg goes wide. That could compromise his run down into the right-hander. Turn 10.
It looked like they were going side by side there, but only 7 minutes to go, and the battle for 5th is getting very close. These are two relatively new drivers, I think, to the league.
Yeah, we've had Oriel join halfway through the season. Phoenix joined. Simmerberg joined in Austria, I believe, and obviously a Holland champion on his debut today.
It'd be interesting to see will Holland join the league. I think there's still 1 or 2 spots left, if I'm right.
Yeah, I think we do have. I think we've got 2 spots. But maybe 1, but I think it's 2 spots. If anyone wants to sign up, just message this man in 4th place, Duke_SL64, and he might be able to hook you up with a seat in this championship. Currently in round 7, the halfway stage in the season, and all the rules are on the website. The website is in the description, I believe, so go check that out as we're almost approaching 900 comments.
Can we hit 1,000 mark?
Can we hit 1,000 comments? I know they're not real comments, but I wonder if we'll hit 1,000 comments before the end of this race.
As Phoenix Gamers got a lead over Simobear to just over a second now, so as it's dropped, no, it's gone back up. So that battle might be over for now, and Duke, it's a pity for Duke, but still a good recovery drive.
Yeah, let's try and get a quick word from Duke. I'll just wait till he's on the straight.
Toussaint is actually catching up to Oriel.
So let's try and get a word from Duke. Hello Duke, you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
So, well, we had an absolute chaotic start to the race. Do you think you can sum it up from your point of view?
Yeah, so I think basically what happened is, first and foremost, that Tiger he just left the race. He was just see ya, and now he's on to win the race. And otherwise, I think it was super close. Really nice racing from everybody.
Definitely, and after picking up a little bit of damage, that has cost you a few positions. But do you think you've got the pace and consistency to keep yourself in 4th?
Yeah, 4th should be no problem. But I think 3rd is, I mean, Toussaint is just too far ahead, and he is very quick. So yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get on the podium.
So hopefully you have a nice and clean, consistent race. Only 4.5 minutes to go, and yeah, good luck to you.
Thank you, man.
Last lap drama, but he goes quite wide there. But still, hopefully.
And looking at the tyre wear, Oriole has got slightly more tyre wear than Toussaint, but Toussaint's got to gain 1 second a minute to close down this gap.
Toussaint's got a lot more fuel than Oriole, so Oriole might have to save.
Potentially, and
Holland no, not Holland. Joe Black's also in red, and Tiger's been in red fuel for a long time. He could come into the pits if he wanted to.
Tiger was actually the last one out of everyone, I think, to pit under a scheduled pit stop, and he's actually gone into the red fuel first. But there's a bit of a battle going on for 5th place between Phoenix and Simmerberg. Phoenix getting an 10th penalty. And make sure to leave your drivers of the day in the comments. I'm not sure if I've done it last week. Ooh, interesting. The game went into spectate Duke. But go back onto Phoenix, and he's still in 5th place. It's been a good race from him. He's had his overtakes. He's had his moments.
And he's had his crashes.
This game is doing the spectator camera glitch thing.
Yeah, mine's very jiggity.
But Simmerbo all over the back of Phoenix as he's going to look for a move maybe around the outside. It could be the inside for the final corner. We'll have to wait and see. Only 3 minutes to go. And unlike a lap race, this is an endurance timed race, so it might not be Tiger Assassin to come across the line first. We'll have to wait and see who comes across the line. But it's just keep spectating Duke. Try to go back onto the action here. The camera's just going up to Duke, and Simmerbo and Phoenix going at it.
Yeah, I don't think Toussaint will catch Oriole. The gap's just kind of staying at 2 seconds. So unless there's a big mistake, and Duke has a 4-10 penalty. But
Phoenix actually. I'm trying to control the spectator camera, but bit of a mistake from Phoenix. We'll see what happens. We'll ride on board with him. Quite literally on board, and what happens? Oh, damage! Damage to Phoenix. Simmerberg running into the back of him.
But there's no point for him to pit, I don't think.
He does have a 24-second gap behind. So unless he pits and goes for fastest lap, I'm not sure there's time actually to go for fastest lap as he goes really wide and he's struggling with that rear damage. Only a minute and 40 to go.
I thought Tiger was after spinning there. I had the weirdest camera angle, and I was like, oh my god.
Just had to. I think my camera's fixed now. There is a battle actually for 7th place. Holland Campion has gained 17 seconds on Joe Black in the last 10 minutes. So Holland Campion now all over the back of Joe Black. He's going to look for the right hand side now. It's be the inside, and he's actually got the move done. So I reckon Joe Black is conserving fuel.
Yeah, I think he's been in red for a while, and Tiger's also been in red for a while, and so he could probably still run out of fuel for a long time and still be leading. But
and the drivers do have a minute to go. I'll try and estimate who is going to be. I think it's GJ and Woody. I think those guys will be the first to. No. I actually think Tiger might come across the line in first. Will be the first to cross the line.
That'd be nice.
That would be pretty good to see from him as. Holland getting past Joe Black.
20 seconds left.
Woody.
It's been a really good
front
race.
right damage. I don't know where that's come from.
And look at his tyre, his front left tyre.
His front tyres are definitely losing lots of grip as we've got 10 seconds to go. And it could actually be Jojo Power to come across the. Actually, no, it would be Woody. Woody comes across the line in 10th place
to win.
To be the first one to to finish this race down in 10th place. Got himself in a few collisions. Unfortunate for him, in 11th place is Jojo Power. That's not going to help his championship standing. And
I think next is Tiger to cross the line, and
Tiger
what a race by
Assassin,
Tiger.
after starting in second, went for the dive into turn 1. He's going to come across the line. He's had one podium in Austria. He's flashing his lights. He's happy, and he's slowing down a bit. He's weaving. He wins round 7 here at the Lago Maggiore circuit for his first win in Gavra Racing in the GT Sport League. Really good commanding performance from him. As actually Two Saints closed the gap to Oriole, but Oriole's going to come across the line after a good race to finish in second place, and Two Saint, after a bit of a recovery comeback drive, is going to finish in third place. Duke now, after having his spin at turn 5, is going to come across the line, finish in 5th. What interesting way to come across the line.
Across the line.
Timober, the Italian driver in the Nissan, will come across and finish in 5th. Phoenix Gamer, he's got a penalty. He's going to have to serve that, otherwise, actually, no, the gap to Holland Camping is quite significant. So he comes across the line in 6th place. An unfortunate drive from Holland Camping, starting in 1st place, has got his damage at the front, at the rear of his car, deciding not to pit. He's weaving across the line. He's going to come across the line in 7th place. A good recovery drive from him, getting from 11th to 7th. And actually, there's two GJ and Joe Black come across the final corner side by side. Joe Black in 8th after starting last. GJ in 9th, and there is your final grid. Maybe we'll get to 1,000 comments before the end of this race, but there is your race winner. Tiger Assassin, doing the Aston Martin fans proud, has won his first Grand Prix.
What a race that was.
Really good race, and let's actually get a few words from Tiger and see how it's like. So Tiger, congratulations. How are you feeling?
Oh my god, I'm so happy. Like, I was so happy when I got my 3rd, but oh my god, I didn't think I was going to win a race this season. I didn't think I had the pace compared to some of the other lot, but wow. And
really good race.
An amazing lead.
The commanding race. We've just hit 1,000 comments in the stream.
Yes.
1,000 comments. 1,001 comments. Good job, everyone. But wow. I think because Tiger, would you like to do the outro for today's race? Seeing as you won, I think it's only fitting.
Thank you everyone for watching. If you enjoyed this, if you enjoyed me winning, make sure you tune in next week, same time, same place. We'll be in Kyoto Driving Park. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Nearly 1,000. I can barely speak. Nearly 1,000 subs. So go over there. There's Twitch as well, which I commentate on, and make sure you tune in for the weekend league race on Sunday. But yeah.
See you next week, everyone. Goodbye.
See you next week.
Bye.